Now the member for Upper Hunter, and then it will be a coalition question, and then back to Labor. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is directed to the Deputy Premier. What is the Liberal and Nationals government doing to help farmers and communities prepare for drought and extreme weather?
For the Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can I thank the member?
Member for Rockdale.
Can I thank the member for Upper Hunter for his question? A member that represents the diversity of an electorate that is known for its mines, wines, and bovines, and
equines and bovines.
Equines as well in there. Sorry, I forgot about that. But it is an important part of the state. Great for jobs, great for the economy, and of course making sure we see regional New South Wales accelerate. The question is a good question. You know, we live in a times at the moment where in most parts of the state and the nation we're enjoying some good times for farmers. Prices are great for sheep, for lamb, for cattle, for wool, and these are some good seasons across the board. But the reality is there are parts of our state that are still stuck in drought, and the impact that has on our farmers when it comes to drought isn't just the financial impact, but also the well-being of the individual farmers, their families and their communities. And that's why it is so important as a government that we are working hand in hand with farmers when it comes to making sure we are prepared for the next drought. Now, I wish I could do a rain dance here and make it rain, but I can't, and therefore you don't want to see me dance. You don't want to see me dance, I can promise you that. What you want to see me do is work with our farming community to make sure that we build resilience, that we are proactive, not reactive. In the past we've been quite reactive, that we wait for a period of drought, and then we get into drought when families and farmers and communities are on their knees, that somehow government steps in to assist those farmers. Well, we don't want to be there, and that's why it's important that as a government, that our policy, when it comes to making sure that we support farmers for the future, it's about building resilience, making our farms stronger, putting in place the infrastructure that actually delivers what we want, and that is a strong agriculture sector, and our farmers are the first part of it. Now look, unlike fires and floods that come without warning, we all know that drought sort of creeps up. It creeps up on communities, on farms, on families, and before you know, a number of years have passed by. And we have. I know in my part of the world, down in the Monero, you know, right up to about 2010, we endured 6, 7, 8 years of drought. And funny, that job broke when we got rid of Steve Wan and I was elected, who was the Minister for Primary Industries at the time. For all my wrongdoing for the election, if people think I'm not doing a great job, I'm the lucky omen, if anything, that we broke the drought in the Monero. And that is very, very good. That is very, very good. The floodgates opened up. Madam Speaker, in making sure that we, of course, build the infrastructure, we partner with our farmers. The government a number of years ago introduced the Farm Innovation Fund back in 2014, which provides that financial assistance through loans so farmers can build that key infrastructure in relation to resilience, preparing for those tough times. And the best time to do that, of course, is when you're actually going through some good times. And that's what's happening right now. We're going through good times.
And I know in Queensland, argumentative today.
I know in
Queensland and Dallas. Stop it. Stop. Read something. Do something.
I know in Queensland, for instance, who are gripped by something like an 8-year drought. Right now the government's having to react through grants and loans to help farmers get through the drought. And that, you know, is the case. There's no question, and those farmers need a hand. But the better position, and what Queensland would love to have, is the ability to be proactive, not reactive, and that is what our Farm Innovation Fund does, a $300 million fund, working with farmers, putting in place the measures to drought-proof for the future. Now, you know, you can only do that as best as possible. We want to prepare, we want farmers to build pipelines and dam storage and silos and sheds, and make sure they are ready for when, of course, Mother Nature turns, and that is that we're going to have to endure some of those problems. And there's some great examples, like right across the state, we know there are plenty of farmers who have received a loan. About 200 farmers have received a loan, and the average loan amount is about $150,000. And again, that is in relation to building pipelines, access to bores, putting sheds and silos in place. And I know, look, and recently the candidate for the Shooters Party up in the Upper Hunter came out on a tweet, I think last night or the night before, talking about how Queensland give out $40,000 grants to support farmers. But to my point, they have to be reactive. But then you go to the Shooters website, what is their policy when it comes to...
Member of Upper Hunter?
I know. And that's the point. In their name last year, they came up with the idea from being the Shooters Party to being the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers. But you just can't add farmers to your title. It's actually going to be reflected on what you do and what you stand for, and actually what your policy is. And if you go to the Shooters, Fishers and Farmers Party website here in New South Wales, they actually don't have a policy. They don't have a policy in relation to the drought. So the Shooters candidate in the Upper Hunter needs to actually understand the party he's associated with has no plan or policy to support farmers in New South Wales. But I know federally, the Shooters and Fishers Farmers Party federally actually have a program that talks about actually what we're talking about, and that is building resilience, being proactive. And look, we've got some great examples. The Cochranes out of Walgett, 2,700 hectares in a drought-ravaged Walgett region, secured a $74,000 loan under our Farm Innovation Fund to build a 10-kilometre pipeline to a bore, which of course now gives some security. And their comment is it's providing crucial water that's not coming out of the sky. The Shillers and Hay, a district of sheep producers, over 12,000 hectares in west of Hay. The Shillers took a $150,000 loan under the Farm Innovation Fund, invested it into a water pipeline and stock watering system. They are building a 25-kilometre pipeline from a channel off the Murrumbidgee feeding water right across 8 farm dams. And this is what they said: at least this time we don't have to panic. With the pipeline, stock and domestic water is always available. If there's no stock in the paddock, we don't use or need water. If there is stock in the paddock, we then know water is available. This is about building resilience. This is about making sure our farmers have the infrastructure on their farms to make sure we have a strong sector in agriculture in New South Wales. So what have we got? Our Farm Innovation Fund, record funding, $300 million, record number of programs available, and a record number of farmers now being assisted, being proactive and preparing for the next drought.